Hey Canucks fans, the NHL Network predicts that at the end of the season, the Vancouver Canucks will be on the outside of the playoffs looking in. Agree or disagree? I'm Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCBC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Wednesday, August the 28th. Recording this very late at 7 p.m. as I was playing music at a teacher's conference all day, but I still wanted to work this video in today because the NHL Network, as part of their popular 31 and 31 series, that's 31 teams and 31 days, today they profiled the Vancouver Canucks. And they go in alphabetical order, so we got to wait till the very end like usual. I guess there's still Vegas and Washington after us. But yes, it was the Vancouver Canucks' turn. And along with their typical really good articles, actually, like their fantasy preview for the team, 3 main questions, and also top prospects, the biggest piece was their 6-minute preview video featuring Mike Johnson and Dan Rosen. And basically, I'll link to it down below, hopefully, if I remember to do that. But the main thing is, they believe that the Canucks will not make the playoffs. They predicted about a mid-80s for points, like 85 points. It'll be an improvement over 81, but likely not enough to make the playoffs. And this is why. They basically say that the Canucks are kind of stuck in the middle, that they did not do a full rebuild after the Sedins left. Sure, they had Pettersson and Hughes and Besser and Horvat, who's getting a little older, but they had all those young guys, Thatcher Demko even. But instead of fully committing to a full rebuild with them, they instead tried to speed it up a little bit by the offseason signings that have us all excited. The Tyler Myers, the JT Miller, the Michael Ferland, and the Jordy Ben, to name the 4 most prominent ones. So, like I said, as Canucks fans get excited, and that's why many of us think that they can push for the playoffs. By that same reasoning, NHL Network is saying no, that they've kind of, it's not like they've wrecked the rebuild, but they've kind of sped it up, and maybe they haven't done the best job. And they make the reference that these 4 guys, Miller, Ferland, Ben, and Myers, they are NHL players. That's what they call them. Well, of course they're NHL players, but maybe they're not expecting them to be massive impact players, or maybe they think that they're not going to move the dial enough, move the needle enough to get the Vancouver Canucks into the playoffs. So this kind of flies in the face of what I've been going with for the past week. I know I recorded that video last weekend when I was on the ferry on the way to Nanaimo, talking about how people around the league were starting to notice that the Vancouver Canucks were indeed much improved, and people around the league, critics, media, writers, broadcasters, they were sharing some of our excited sentiments that the Vancouver Canucks could indeed push for a playoff spot this season. And then we get this NHL Network article and series of articles, but the articles don't make any predictions. Only this 6-minute preview video does make the prediction that the Vancouver Canucks will not make the playoffs. Now, of course, they name a lot of good pieces. Up front, they still say Pettersson's going to be a star. They still say Besser will still do well. They're impressed with Horvat. And they say the guys like Miller and Ferland will add scoring punch, but they're asking how many points, how much scoring punch will they actually add, and will it be enough to get the Canucks out of the basement when it comes to their lack of goal scoring? On D, pretty much the same thing. They say that the Myers and the Ben additions are good, that Quinn Hughes, we have an all-star potentially there as a rookie defenseman, but then after that are the other players, the Edlers, the Tanevs, the Stetchers of the world, are they enough to make it, to fuse well with our new guys, and are they going to be strong enough? They do recognize Jacob Markstrom. They talk about Thatcher Demko. They talk about how is Thatcher Demko ready to step up and get more games, or is it still Jacob Markstrom's team? And they affirm Jacob Markstrom and the strong season he had last season. So they talk about all these things. They talk about how good the Canucks can be, but they don't talk about how good the Canucks are, because frankly, they haven't been that good over the past 4 seasons. Now, we, the optimistic ones, think that the additions of Miller, Ferland, Ben, and Myers will help the Canucks to be much better, to improve by those 10 to 12 points that they need to get into the playoffs. But the NHL Network guys seem not to think so. Once again, they say that we're in the middle. It wasn't a complete rebuild. So in trying to speed it up by 1 or 2 years, that maybe they abandon the complete rebuild, and they're afraid that the Canucks are going to be stuck in this middling place for a while. And I know that's what many fans, not anti-Canucks fans, but some realistic fans, they think that realistically the Canucks, their take is that the Canucks indeed botched their rebuild a little bit. They didn't do a full rebuild, and by trying to add these guys on the fly, i.e. Schaller, Roussel, and Beagle last season, and now the Millers, the Ferlands, the Bens, and the Myers, as much as they improve our team, that maybe it's not enough, and maybe some would say maybe they should have, not tanked. I can't believe I said the word. I never say that word. But they, not do well this season to continue to build more and acquire more draft picks and continue to build through the draft, because they have been building well between guys like Besser and Pettersson and Hughes, and we want Ulevi and we want Virtanen still to work out. And now this season's excitement with Podkolzin and Hoglander, and we still have guys like Tyler Madden and Will Lockwood and Jet Wu and Gadjevich and Lynn. There's a lot of guys in our system, Rathbone. There's a lot of guys in the system that we can get excited about for sure. So all to say, check out the link. I will put it down below. It's a 6-minute video, and see what they have to say, what Mike Johnson and Dan Rosen have to say, and see if you agree with it or not. Or so they're a little bit more pessimistic than I am, but I'm the eternal optimist. But they kind of bring gravity, kind of throw a bit of water on the parade, so to speak, of the Canucks making the playoffs this season. Bottom line, they do not think that our additions will be enough to push us in that spot, put us over the hump, so to speak. Canucks fans, let me know what you think. Do you think it's a realistic take? Watch the video and let me know what you think. And then, if you got enough from what I said here, maybe leave a comment after you listen to me ramble here for 6 minutes. But regardless, do you think the Canucks will make the playoffs? Do you not think do you think they'll miss the playoffs? I know we're gonna be talking about this a lot over the next 5 to 6 weeks, but obviously it's the biggest question. Given that that's what we want to see, and given that we haven't had playoff hockey since the 2014-2015 season, a playoff season where we were playing against Michael Furlan as opposed to having him on our team. Canucks fans, leave a comment below. I'd love to read, react, and reply as always. Thanks for the nice words about passing 4,000 subscribers. The pace has picked up a little bit, the subscriber rate, but it's going to take a while to get to 5,000, maybe before Christmas, but we shall see. Anyways, leave a comment. I'd love to read, react, and reply. Subscribe if you like to. Like this video if you like to. Enjoy the day. God bless. Go Canucks go.